Guys, today I've uncovered something so dark, something so evil that it should never really see the light of day. This is, we thought Buzzfeed was the only one, but it seems like there are more. And they're even more dangerous than Buzzfeed. Oh god. Oh god, guys, I don't know if I can do this. But I may just be able to if we can reach 100,000 likes! Woo! Smash that motherfucking like button! Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome to my latest video. If you enjoyed today, please leave a like and subscribe if you want to help support me and my content. I hope you liked my little fucking ominous intro. Basically, I've found a channel comprised of pure evil. I mean, it's got some good intentions for the most part. In fact, I think it's basically all good intentions, but the way they come across is just nah. Don't want to be saying that kind of shit. Nah. And if you look at their like ratios, you can literally see tiny little people in the like box going, nah, not today. Sorry, bruv. So, let's take a look at one video which you will possibly have seen before. This is not manspreading, this is mansplaining, is what I say. Now, before we carry on, I understand fully well that this is a parody and this shouldn't be taken to 100% seriousness. Saying that, I don't believe it should be taken as a parody because they haven't made it enough of a parody for me not to want to criticize it, if you understand what I'm saying. But I do understand that it wasn't done entirely serious, but don't think that matters on this case. Continue.
Do you think mansplaining is a real thing?
Mansplaining?
Man what? Plaining?
Like explaining manhood? Or manscaping? Or what is that?
No one has a fucking clue what it is, because it doesn't fucking matter, but she's so desperate that someone will respond and answer in the right way, so she can be like, fucking man pig.
You're talking about men wanting or liking to explain everything like that.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Actually, no, that isn't at all what she's talking about. She's talking about men that will interrupt and keep talking and talking without letting you speak. That is completely different to what he said. And stop trying to foggy the definition, making this even more confusing and giving you more leeway to be annoyed at more things. And this is going out to the public. We will be watching this at home, so then that will make us think that is mansplaining, when it isn't. Fucking ridiculous. That's a reasonable thing to do. God damn.
I knew what mansplaining was, and I was pretty certain they knew it too. I just had to get them talking long enough to prove it.
And what she means is that she wants someone to open up about it, is she is going to try and twist a person's word round to try and get something out of him just for her agenda so she can put it on camera. She's not actually going to get to the bottom of any of this at all.
Do you ever interrupt people when they're trying to tell an anecdote or something like that?
Not at all.
You never interrupt people?
No. I don't do that myself, so I haven't seen that in my workplace at all.
Oh.
So.
Well, I don't ever do that. I've learned to keep quiet, so my opinions stay here and don't reach this part.
I've given up, so I'm just along for the ride nowadays.
She's asking if any one of them interrupts people, and they're like, no, actually I don't at all. And she's like, yeah, but deep down you do. Of course you do. You have to interrupt people. You're a man. Of course you interrupt people. It's like, no, actually I don't. In fact, most people I know don't do that. It's like, you do! You sexist pigs! You're lying to me, you liar!
Now, it
I used to
doesn't...
drive the bus, but now I'm just a passenger.
Okay, he wouldn't let her speak, but I felt that the tiny woman was trying to communicate with me. So I followed her wordless directions and started talking to women.
He wouldn't let her speak? What? It's like a fucking 2-year-old child. And why is this wise 2-year-old child suddenly give you the thought to go out and ask women? It's because you can't find anyone that mansplains, because people don't mansplain, but you're not even go off thinking, oh, maybe there aren't many people that mansplain. You're going to go off and think, oh, those fucking liars, how have they lied about this? I see them mansplaining, I see you splaining over there. I've been peeping and seeing you splaining.
Have you ever been interrupted by a guy?
All the time.
Where do you get interrupted the most? Like at work or when you're in conversation with friends?
By my husband mostly. He can't help it. I think it's stronger than his will.
In my family.
The question should be, do you get interrupted? Not do you get interrupted by guys, because you're sexist by making the claim that all guys interrupt women. I don't get how Buzzfeed and other companies like that can't see that by what they're saying, you are being fucking sexist. You're just grouping a load of people together and claiming that they're all exactly the same.
But Sam, she's obviously not talking about all men as a whole. You do understand that, right? She's just talking about those that mansplain.
Well, the fact is, she hasn't made it clear at all about the target she's going for. All she does is mention men. She says, I want to annoy some men, not ones that are particularly bad at mansplaining, just men in general. And even worse than this, she should be going for men that talk condescendingly towards women, but she's not. She's just looking for men that interrupt women, when interrupting isn't even what mansplaining is about. Mansplaining is about when a man will speak condescendingly towards a woman in an interrupting manner. So she's foggied the definition, she's foggied the target audience. It's just a bit of a fuck pile at the moment.
Have you ever been interrupted by a guy?
All the time.
Where do you get interrupted the most? Like at work or when you're in conversation with friends?
By my husband mostly. He can't help it. I think it's stronger than his will.
So now she's resorted to talking to women because the tiny woman inside that baby guided her. No, it's because no men will give you the right answers that you want, because no one actually does it. So she's talking to this lady whose husband is sitting next to her, and they made a big point about that. But clearly their relationship isn't going too well, so that's not exactly the best fucking response you're gonna get from someone, is it?
My family, most of the time. My dad maybe interrupts me and says, no, this is not right. And I'm like, it is. This is like a man thing you have in your head.
Again, another fucking silly response, because families always interrupt each other. Brothers and sisters, father and son, mother and daughter, whatever. It always happens. It's happened in my life. My dad's interrupted me, but I don't care. He's always done it for the right reason. There are reasons to interrupt people. It's not just anyone that interrupts you is a fucking scumbag. There are reasons why people interrupt each other. And her family, this has nothing to do with mansplaining now, is it? It's just talking about a family. Why'd you leave that in the shot? Oh, it's because you couldn't find anyone else that would give you the right fucking answer. So I think shows like this can be a real fuck. What?
Sir.
What is it?
Stop doing your shitty video.
doing
Hey,
so.
sir.
You fucking sexist pig! Get back here, bastard!
It made me wonder, what was this man thing inside their heads? I wanted to crack one open like an egg, but my producer, who is a man, told me no.
You just had to add that little bit in there because you know you couldn't find any men doing anything wrong, so you had to fake that your producer, who was a man, had done something wrong. Getting a bit desperate now, are we?
I think that sometimes when a man just knows he's right, he's right.
Oh yeah, just shoving that completely out of context moment where he said sometimes when a man is right, he's right. Has no relevance to the whole fucking argument anyway. But yeah, let's just shove that in there. Who cares what he said before it or what came after it? Let's shove it in there because he's a fucking pig.
I mean, maybe sometimes women talk for too long. That's it.
Talk for too long?
I mean, we can kind of explain the same thing, but twice as fast.
I don't necessarily think men interrupt women, but I think sometimes in conversation you have to interrupt certain people.
Now this guy, he's fucking good. I like him. I think he's fantastic. Earlier on he was taking a bit of a neutral stance, and I know that people got a bit upset with his neutral stance, but I think that's just fine. If you don't want to lean one way or the other way, that's fair enough, because he has his own opinions on things. And what he just said there was fantastic. Sometimes you have to interrupt certain people, which is entirely fucking true, and that should knock down this whole entire argument, because yes, you do sometimes have to interrupt people, and it's not men that always have to interrupt women. It is just that people have to be interrupted sometimes. Just because you have to quickly say something or because something's very important, there are reasons why you interrupt people, not just because you're a misogynist pig. Can we get over that now, please? Fucking hell.
I think it depends on the type of man you are. I've never really felt that men interrupt women. I actually feel women interrupt men.
Had he given her his man thing?
Oh my god, are you fucking kidding? She said, does this mean that she's been given his man thing? Are you fucking kidding? Just because she has something fucking reasonable to say, you assume that somehow he's fucking used his telekinetic powers to put his horrible man-pig brain into hers, and now she's just spouting lies like she's possessed by a fucking misogynist. It's absolutely ridiculous. Sorry that people don't interrupt girls all the time. Sorry that we're not all sexist scumbags. I am sorry that these two lovely, reasonable people can't possibly be real. They must be fucking being zapped from the man gods from up in the sky. Fucking hell.
So he never interrupts you?
No, I really don't.
Suddenly, the little woman's message became so clear to me. Men don't know when they're talking.
What? Again? What do you mean men don't know when they're talking? Stop using men as one word to describe every man that there is. But Sam, you should know that this is just a joke. She doesn't mean all men, of course, that would be silly. Frankly, I don't care, because the way that she's talking, she is addressing all men. And what, you can't keep referring to this little child. Just because you're not getting the right response, you're having to fake a response from a kid that doesn't actually exist.
I do see myself interrupting at times. I don't do it on purpose. It just happens.
If you know that you're being a misogynistic person, then you can at least know how to change it. But if you don't realize that what you are doing is
naive,
demeaning to people.
Oh my fucking god, she just interrupted him! Are you kidding me? He was speaking, clearly hadn't finished, and she started speaking over the top of him. Womansplaining. Womansplainer.
Then you're not going to know how to fix it. The bigger problem is that men don't realize that they're mansplaining when they do mansplaining.
What they just said was entirely true, but don't use the word mansplaining. We don't need this fucking word. If there's a word mansplaining, then where's womansplaining? Because obviously that happens as well. It's just people interrupting each other. Well, it shouldn't be that, because that's not even the fucking definition of mansplaining. So what they're saying is that sometimes you have to interrupt, or sometimes you don't know that you're interrupting. Think about people that suffer from mental health issues. They obviously are going to interrupt more frequently. For example, myself, I have very bad social anxiety, so I'm very difficult with social situations. Sometimes I don't really know when a person's finished talking, so I blurt out and accidentally interrupt people. It's not always done on purpose, guys.
So what do you think is going to happen to me when I go home with him now?
He'll correct you and tell you actually how he doesn't interrupt you. Yeah.
I can deal with that.
I was scared for her. I hope she's okay.
I was scared for her. I hope she's okay. Yeah, fuck. She's gonna go home and he's gonna beat her, he's gonna smash her head in, he's gonna rape her and murder her. Or maybe he's just gonna back up the fact that he doesn't always interrupt her, because he probably fucking doesn't. And he's just had his wife recorded on a incredibly popular YouTube series where he's basically being told that he interrupts and he is a careless person. So fucking go ahead and correct her nonsense, mate. Go on, do it for me. Fuck you, cunt.
I thought that naming this phenomena would allow us to see it more clearly, but the denial was deafening.
Oh, sorry, just interrupting you there. I think I'm going to finish my show. Jog on, cunt. Oh my god, this girl is sick in her fucking head, mate. The denial was everywhere. She just can't take it. Not all men are scumbags. Get that in your thick fucking skull. Not all men are terrible people. Not all men interrupt you. Fucking hell. It's really aggravated me, this one, because she is fucking narrow-minded, really narrow-minded. She's incredibly sexist. She's quite patronising. Not my cup of tea. She should go and fucking do one, mate. That's the end of the show. Hope you enjoyed watching, guys. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to help support me and my channel. Thanks, guys.